up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
Very special day. It is a terrific Thursday. We're on to the 13th day of January. That means my partner in crime and coast this morning is Autumn Hall from Celebrity Home Loans. Good morning, Autumn.
Good morning.
Come on down.
I'm here.
Chillier
Drinking
this
my
morning.
coffee.
Drinking my coffee.
I thought it felt good.
Living the dream. I know, but it was a little bit cooler than yesterday, but still warmer than what we've been having. So
I did have to tell my kids to wear pants today.
Do what?
Did have to tell them wear pants today. I said
that.
Not warm enough for shorts. Like I don't need the
What
school
is
calling
how
me.
do you decide what's the deciding factor?
It depends on the age.
Okay.
So like Max is still wearing shorts and but he doesn't go outside.
Okay.
So my thing is, listen, if it's under 50 by the time you're outside for recess, you have to wear pants.
Okay.
Like if it's 50 or older or over
When they're 50 years old.
When you're 50, you can make your own
I'm
decisions.
still going to be telling you cannot wear shorts.
At 50 degrees, you can wear shorts. I don't care.
Yeah. I always pick my battles.
I do. And mine depends on age, but like he's in kindergarten.
Well, yeah, and then
he's
then
kindergarten.
we start getting judged by
Yeah. I do actually. I'm that parent that like has to send in the notes that says, I know my kid does not have a jacket. It's okay. Let him go outside.
Yeah, but because everybody is different, and you see those actually walking around. I mean, like there's grown men and women in December, or we're in December. Excuse me, January, February, when it's just like snow everywhere.
I'm married to one,
still in shorts.
Yeah,
and I don't. If that's what they're comfortable, there's nothing wrong with that. And if they're okay, you know what I mean.
Well, and I have the rule of. You know your body.
Yeah, that's what I like.
You wear what you want to wear as long as you're covered and decent. Yeah. And thankfully, I don't run into that a lot. Like even my daughter likes to be covered.
Yeah.
But you're not allowed to complain.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, that's the thing. If you end up being cold, you don't get to tell me I'm cold. It's I'm okay. Yeah. But he's 5, and
there might be a little.
And I'm not so sure how much of that is he wanted to wear shorts and how much of that is. I just didn't want to dig for pants, and that's the first thing I had.
Ooh, that
I'm dressed.
There's
wear some pants.
There's your sign. There you go.
So, because he didn't argue with me, so I really think it was. Yeah. I just grabbed the first thing.
Well, yeah, and I see that. Yeah, it's a struggle.
But he goes out at like 10 o'clock in the morning too.
Oh.
Like he eats lunch at 10:25, and then I think they go to recess like at 11.
Yeah.
And it's still a little chilly. So.
Yeah, it is. It warms up like at 2 or 3 and stuff, so it gets a little bit, But it is tough decisions on that, and also on the coat or no coat, because like all these places in a big ski suit because I'm freezing and everybody else will be. No, I mean it's true.
Yes, you're right.
Like, but
people have different.
Yeah. I try to do mindset though, like try to do mind over matter. You know what I mean? I really have been working on my superpower here.
You know what? Your brain's a powerful thing, though.
Well, I'm trying to.
It is.
I've been trying, not, because, when people raise their eyebrows because you're in a snowsuit.
Becky, it's 70 degrees.
I know. So I try to do mind over matter. So I've been doing it. But I don't judge. But you cannot beat a wonderful pair of sweat or just pants or shorts, comfortable. Yeah. I mean, and I find I'm productive on those days. You know what I mean? You get a lot done when you're comfortable and not so, it's just so
like
I'm that's when you're really comfortable. I think that's illegal though.
I had a friend that all their kids have moved out now.
Oh.
He's like, we can start naked Saturdays
now.
now.
There you go.
Well, no, not to go to your house on Saturdays.
Call before you come over. You don't have to worry about dropping in.
Whatever makes you comfortable.
There you go. Absolutely. Have your way. Just don't get too crazy, I guess. But want to thank our sponsors, Walmart, Mediview Healthcare Center, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Upland, Celebrity Home Loans in the house this morning. Whoop, whoop.
Here I am.
Skyline Suites going to be with me tomorrow. I'm excited and find out all the great things they got going on over there.
That's a nice facility.
It's beautiful. Oh, no, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's
gorgeous.
Nice.
Beautiful food. You have your own chef.
Yeah.
Food. They have their own beauty shop. I mean, like
Right.
their
It's
own
very
spa.
nice. It's
Their
almost
own
like a
spa salon. Yes, this is
it's fine living.
it's wonderful
Fine living.
living. Yes. Also, we have Dr. Mindy Gunn, Dr. Black Dye Associates, and wonderful sponsors. Very thankful for them for sure. All right, let's talk autumn. First of all, let's see. We got a lot.
What is today?
Today is the 13th day.
We got a lot going on today.
We are a little bit of a month over. Wait, hang on. A little bit a month away from Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Actually, we are exactly a month away till Super Bowl. Okay, so Super Bowl's on the 13th of February. And then, do you realize how funny
really
this is
late
going to
this
be?
year?
I know, but you know how funny this is going to be? Okay, so the 13th of February, Super Bowl. Okay, everybody's going to be concentrating and watching the big game. And then the next morning, it's Valentine's Day.
Well,
So Brad Gilbert was over here, and he sent a message to all the men, and he's like, you can't mess this up, okay? No matter what, okay? No matter how much and how tired you are from Super Bowl, because remember that was a big controversy. Remember there was a big like petition or whatever that people were wanting the Monday after Super Bowl to be a holiday, and it did not pass. Remember? So
well, and nor should it have.
Okay,
I mean, nor should it have. Put the game on Saturday.
But, you know, they try. You know what I mean? You gotta try. You know what I mean? You can ask, but it was not well received. So it did not happen. But but here's the thing. This is where it's going to be bad because Valentine's Day just bang the day right after.
Right.
I mean, so
also not a holiday in which you are off.
no, exactly.
So
Yeah. And what's hilarious, if you go and you look at Salem School Corporation, we actually are having a school board meeting that night. So I said, is that not hilarious? You know this was set up by males, right? You know that.
I thought you guys always met the first Monday of the month. Is it the second Monday?
Yeah.
It is. See?
So we have, and then a little more fun factor, Autumn. It gets a little more degree of difficulty. The radio station. My dad started in 1953. Will turn 69
on Valentine's Day. My dog will be 4.
Oh my gosh! His birthday on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Well,
She's a Valentine's Day dog.
I love that. What a sweetheart, right?
So there you go.
Yeah. So we were actually dubbed. The radio station was dubbed the Sweetheart Station of the Nation. Because born on Valentine's Day.
There you go.
1953.
So how old will it be?
69.
69.
Yeah. 69 years old. Yeah. Isn't that awesome?
It is.
Yeah.
So you really need a big birthday party.
We usually do, but I don't know how much.
I have a school board meeting, a Valentine's Day.
Yeah, how to fit all this in? You know what I mean? Yeah. But I have an outfit. Watch, Autumn. I have an outfit. Okay.
I've got what I'm wearing.
Yeah, I've got.
Speaking of clothes.
Yeah, that's my. Yeah,
we know what we're wearing.
I don't know what else will fall into place, but I have a clothes. I have an outfit, so we are good. So,
Oh,
no,
man.
it'll be fine. And you know, it gets okay when Valentine's Day falls on a weekday, like Monday.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard because actually, if you kind of go through, and not to name because I won't leave anybody out, but there's a lot of businesses that are closed on Monday.
That's true.
Yeah, and so
Because they work Saturdays.
Yes. Oh yeah, I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying it's a fact.
I'm just throwing it out there for people.
Yeah. Then so that's kind of okay. Then it's like a lot of your restaurants are packed.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Because it's a holiday.
Yes, and
it's also Monday Margarita Monday. So Mondays are packed anyway at restaurants.
It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. So I kind of like sometimes. I'm one of those. I don't know, but I kind of like a pizza in. So I'm kind of like a big old pizza, and
I'm always looking for a good deal. So I'm more of a February 15th half price candy day.
So cute. Oh my gosh, I love that.
So
there you go. You get it, girl.
That's,
there you go. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Actually, I'm really bad at holidays. Like, I'm not a holiday celebrator.
Well,
I'm not. But Justin is. So normally he'll get up on Valentine's Day and he'll make the kids like little heart-shaped pancakes, or he'll do like little heart-shaped eggs. And I don't know if he will since it's a Monday now, but
and after Super Bowl.
and after Super Bowl, yeah.
We're gonna have to start pumping a lot of coffee in him.
Maybe we just need to push back Valentine's Day a week.
And have it
Just have the whole week.
I don't know that we have that power on it.
I do. I mean, I can do it in my own
You
life.
your house. Yeah, you are the
Just
queen.
do it in your own
You are the
life.
queen in your own home. That's
Yeah,
right. That's exactly
that's-
right. Well, I was gonna say, I think, I think that once I had the heads up and I'm prepared for
You
it.
can
Yeah.
We're giving you a month notice.
Notice, yes.
You have a
You're
month
prepared for
notice.
it. Yes, yes, yes.
So
So if you need to, go ahead and, for anybody listening, and your spouse has called and asked us, Autumn and I too, to
Go ahead.
remind you, go ahead and get those chocolates, just put them somewhere, and
yeah.
yeah.
And not only that, now you have like now you can do these auto shipment things.
Yeah. There you
So
go.
like
That's
you
a very
can
good-
even
yeah.
call. I'm sure your florist would love to go ahead and have these pre-orders so they know what they're looking at,
Yeah.
and they deliver.
There you go. There you go.
You know.
There you go. Are you a flowers and candy and perfume kind of girl?
No,
Okay.
I'm very practical.
Okay. What
And
do you want?
actually, I made the
Paper,
mistake
paper
one
towel,
time.
and cleaners.
So we've had this conversation before because, I know we grew up very poor, and so I still kind of have some of that mindset, and I'll never forget the first
I
time.
love that. There's something on that. Yeah.
No, but sometimes it bites me in the butt. So the first time Justin ever bought me flowers, I may have not reacted in a proper manner. Like, it was kind of one of those things. It's like, you spent how much on these? Like, these are expensive and they're just going to die, and they're going to. So now I don't get flowers.
Okay.
Like 15 years later, I don't get flowers because I threw a fit.
I had a bad reaction.
So now I get potted plants,
Mhm.
and we've kind of stopped that now because I killed them.
Okay.
So really, I'm kind of back to just get me flowers. I'm going to kill them anyway. Like,
Okay.
they're going to die
So you-
anyway.
oh, wow.
So,
That's fine. Okay. So then,
I mean, yeah, go ahead
Yeah.
and buy them.
go ahead and buy the flowers. Yeah.
But I'm okay with I prefer like more of the field flowers. Like, give me the daisies and the
Okay.
carnations and I'm not a big fan of roses
Oh.
unless they're like a rose bush.
Okay. Well, those are really cute.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I actually do have a mini rose bush a customer got me.
No,
It's still alive,
I love
and
that.
it's been like 3 years.
In your office, where you're located, you should get beautiful sun. I mean, you
I-
should be able to have.
It blinds me. I sit there sometime with
Well, the
sunglasses.
plants should really love your.
They do.
Yeah.
If you come look at my succulents, I got those thinking I can't kill these. They're growing and they're
Happy.
thriving.
Yeah, when they're happy, yeah.
And like they're bent. Like you can see where they have grown
You know,
towards the
okay, What you
sun.
need to do is tilt them. You need to
I
turn
do.
them. Okay,
I
turn
do.
them.
And they have like
I'm
little
coming-
dowel rods.
I'm coming to help you with your plants. We're going to turn those plants.
Well, that's how I know when to
Twist
turn
and
them.
shout here. Okay.
Because it's like, oh, I have a 90-degree bend. It's on the turn.
Yay. You're taking over.
Yeah. Well, but they're getting big. Like they're getting really tall.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Might need to be repotted. Yeah, could be.
I'm scared I'll
I
kill
will
them.
come help you.
Yeah, you need to.
Yeah, I do love it.
Anybody with
Well-
a green thumb, I have none.
Well, I'm just a little green.
Yeah.
I'm not the best of the best. Someday when I grow up, I want to be a master gardener, but I'm not there yet. But I'm not really I'm kind of difficult. Okay.
No, I like a good book.
Surprise.
Give me a good book,
Oh, there you go.
and I am
Yeah.
thrilled.
I make it a little. I'm not really I'm kind of with you on that. Don't get me wrong. I love flowers.
Oh yeah.
And I do love roses, but I'm kind of with you. So I kind of go more towards the potted plant because I like the plants and I can have them and they stay and they keep right. Well, I have so many now, you know what I mean? And even everything's living so well.
That's a problem though.
It
You're
is.
going to be overran.
Yeah, because even my poinsettias, like I thought they would be gone. They're
Yeah.
wonderful. They're performing. They're gorgeous.
You need though. You know what my favorite flower is a tulip. I love
yeah.
tulips.
Yeah.
And they're so short-lived,
Yeah.
which makes me sad. But then it's like, oh, I always have a.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, that is a problem. I
Yeah.
ran into that with succulents.
So I've got a little more than what I'm keeping up with them all, but I really don't know that I need to add another
You need to.
another pet. I don't really think I need to add anything extra.
You need one of those plant ladders. Yeah. So
Just keep
Greg can just get you something to. No, it's like it has like the platforms.
I don't want a platform.
So you can display them.
But if my husband, if his takeaway from this conversation is
Get a plant ladder,
I
Greg.
know, and he's gonna go get one, and I'm gonna be like, Adam, I did not want. I'm bringing it to your office. And we will
You can
bring
do
your
that.
succulents.
And then you
will
can
have-
bring some
yes,
of your plants
I
to
will
my
bring my
office,
plants
and
to
then you
your
have room for
office
more.
with my plant ladder. The plant ladder is coming to your office, okay? If I use the plant ladder. Yeah. So I'm not really, so I don't really want that. Then chocolates are good, but we've really been kind of,
Yes.
watching that, staying away from that. So then it's like, what
Carrot sticks.
Carrot.
Becky gets carrot sticks.
You
You get a bouquet. Have you seen those though?
They're gorgeous. I know. Nope. I have no. Yep. I love them.
I have
And
seen some beautiful vegetable bouquets.
Well, okay, and this is hilarious. Okay, this is funny because I have a friend.
Send me one of those.
I can do that. Yeah, big vegetable tray or whatever.
Yeah.
So I have a friend. She got her husband. Okay, couldn't figure out what to get her for Valentine's Day, and so he got her those big, beautiful, edible bouquets.
Yeah, like
okay?
the fruit ones.
Yeah, the fruit. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's funny though, okay, was he got it for her to eat. Okay. Well, you only have like a degree. I mean, like your degree of eating it before the fruit
Right.
goes bad. So
It's
she
short lived.
she was laughing because she was like, all I'm eating every meal is fruit because I'm trying to get this eaten. You know what I mean? Before it goes, because those are kind of costly. They're
Yeah.
kind of pricey. If you
Yeah,
ever,
so are the cookie ones.
Oh, I've never had. Yeah. Oh, I have seen the cookies.
But yes, they are. They're not
They're
cheap.
Yeah. Now the cookies would last a little longer, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they wouldn't last because we'd be eating them. But the fruit, it was just hilarious because every time we would talk, she'd be like, I'm still trying to eat that fruit. You know what I mean? I'm like, every meal was fruit. And her husband did a good thing. It was good. It was delicious. It was just a matter of not too big of one.
I think sometimes you don't think it all the way through.
Yeah. Oh, that's the story of my life. You know what I mean? In my head, it looked like it was going to be wonderful. You know what I mean? But
You just don't
put
think
it on,
through.
put it out there. It doesn't go over. Oh, that's the story of my life.
I'm a fan of chocolate covered strawberries too.
Oh, have mercy. Yeah. Now, when those are fixed, they go too fast. Everybody wants them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those, I'm a huge fan of that.
I like those. Those Sherry's berries, they deliver. Sherry's berries, guys, you can deliver.
I didn't. Okay. Well, I'm all for that, and then I think food, you can't go wrong with that. You know what I mean? But I am a pizza gal too, and Papa John's takes the pizzas and makes them hearts.
They do. I've seen those,
and those are really nice because that's practical.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful, and it's a surprise.
And then you don't have to cook.
Oh, tell me about it. Yeah, I think that's probably the route we'll go. We'll probably go that route and then get ready for our meeting.
We will probably just have a typical day.
It's all right. It's okay. You know what I mean? It's all good.
Let's boil down to the important thing.
Yeah.
It's about valuing and showing appreciation for the person you're with.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So it's all good. But anyway, so it's gonna be busy, and then of course
busy day.
It's busy. So it's funny though because I don't think I've ever remembered it. And if it has happened, I just don't remember it. Valentine's Day is so close to Super Bowl. I've not heard back to back like that.
Well, I think it's just the way that the Sunday falls.
Yeah, I think that is right. Yeah.
Because I was like, that's really late. But then when you pull up the calendar, it's like, oh, well.
Yeah, I guess
that is.
Yeah. So
you could just have a Valentine's Super Bowl.
Well, I thought of that too.
Combine them.
Well, all of and I'm another thing too. If there's food left over for Super Bowl, I'm a big stickler. You eat those leftovers. I mean, Autumn. You know what I mean? I'm not a.
So we're not leftover people. We just don't eat a lot of leftovers.
We do,
and so
I'm terrible with that. I'm like,
well, it was funny because I made, that chicken and rice and broccoli casserole dish. Like I made that for dinner Monday, and I put the pan in the refrigerator for leftovers. And Justin was like, "Why'd you we're not gonna eat that?" I'm like, "I know. I just didn't want to wash the pan."
Wait.
So if there's leftovers in our fridge, it's because I didn't want to wash the pan.
So you don't have it like for lunch the next day or anything?
No, I don't. I have good intentions.
Okay.
I just have not so great follow through.
Okay.
And then by the time it's there for 3 or 4 days, I'm like, no.
Yeah. Well, I
have bad follow through.
I'm bad. I will follow it till the end. You know what I mean? So
You're that one that has the big stock pot that's like, when that comes out, we're eating the same thing for 6 days.
I'm sorry. We're gonna knock this out. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe because 6 daughters. Maybe that was it. You know what I mean?
It stretches.
True. Yeah,
It does.
that's true. All right. So autumn. Something coming also a little closer to us is snow, snow, snow.
I heard
Yeah.
this
So
weekend.
we are watching closely the potential of an impactful winter storm this weekend. So, you
I
know,
feel like our weather has shifted.
it was okay. That's funny you say that because okay, it's funny because some of the like retail, like okay, like we Brad and I talked yesterday. Walmart's got your Valentine's Day, your Super Bowl stuff already, but also if you'll start seeing Easter and spring. And I wondered now because yesterday, if you were not looking at a calendar, would you have not thought yesterday was kind of a spring day?
Kind of felt it.
Yeah.
Kind of feels a little bit today.
Yeah, I mean if
But
someone
then we
told-
just had what, a week of nothing but 20s.
yeah.
Like our weather's a little crazy.
So I'm wondering if people are okay, also Walmart's starting to get, and I know people buy early and they have it there, people, but they're starting to get the grills, you know what I mean, and their outdoor stuff, and of course, you start looking, and of course I grill any time of year.
We do too.
So it's not, that's kind of a good thing anyway. But I don't know, it's just amazing to me.
I don't feel like we have the clear cut. Like that is one thing that really bothers me. And we have this conversation with Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, you want,
like I feel like we are in such a rush time, and it is on all areas. The retailers only do it because people buy it.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that's just good business. That's smart business. I can't really fault them for that.
No.
But at the same time, it's like, can we just take a step back and slow down and just enjoy where we're at? Right. Can we enjoy that? Okay, Super Bowl and Valentine's Day, yes, they're right there close together. I get that. But can we get through Valentine's Day before we get to Easter? See, it stresses me out and overwhelms me.
Okay.
And I think that's why I don't do holidays.
Okay, well, see, now I have no problem with it. It does not bother me at all. It's, because sometimes if you're, let's say you don't have very much for a certain holiday and you want a little bit more, then you can buy it gradually and not have to buy it all at once. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe so, but I tell you what, you and I need to market. Listen, right now, what we need to do, we need a football with hearts on it. We need a Valentine football.
I think we can do a heart-shaped football.
That's what okay. A heart-shaped football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put your thumb right in between the top. Throw it that way.
I
don't know how that will work, but
yeah, I'm all for it. Yeah, yeah. And okay, so then at halftime of the Super Bowl, you could go out and you can play, because we love to play football. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that would be a blast, wouldn't it?
I am a big fan of just trying new things. Yeah. So I would. It's new. I'd do it.
We need to do that. I think that right there would go.
I think you could even have those little red and white dogs with the hearts all over them.
That's what I'm saying. And make it a football. Why could you not take a football and just have hearts? That would be adorable.
But then you're you're crossing. So then you could even do those little puppy dogs with the hearts and give them like a football helmet and a football. I would buy that. I'd get that for my kids. I'd get that one for me, probably.
The hot dog says something like, I love you this long, or something like that, or something.
Yeah.
So we could make it like a football, like, I love you from one yard to another.
Post.
Yeah, goalpost to goalpost. Yeah, right here. We want some.
Hit me up for more ideas.
If this is being made out there and someone's creating this, Autumn and Becky need some royalties out of that, okay? Or at least some free ones, right? All right, so we are talking snow, possibly late Friday night through the late Sunday. It's unlikely to amount to too much, which sometime we better get some snow because I actually want to do some sledding this year. They're not for sure exactly how much snow we'll get, but it looks like it's going to be a wintry mix, just enough to be whatever with the roads. Also, we're going to switch gears here in the political scene. 9th District Congressman Trey Hollingsworth announced yesterday that he was not going to seek a fourth term in Congress. That he is a man of his word. He said that, and I like Trey. Yeah, and he's always been a good friend. But I wondered if it was hard to say. Once you make your decision,
right?
But then when you sit on something or you do something, a lot of times you get so involved in it. You know what I mean?
Right. It's hard to walk away.
Yeah, it is. So. He's totally a man of his word. I can't wait to see what's next around the river bend for him. But he's been he was a big, supporter of term limits, and he served 3 terms. He got a lot of things done, great for sure. And so now he's going on to greener pastures. On the eve of that announcement, State Senator Erin Houchin, also a dear friend, announced she would run for to fill the seat in this year's election.
I did see that.
Also, Jay Davison, who was caucused in to fill his late father Steve Davison's position last fall, announced he would seek a state representative seat in this year's election. And for a full list of everyone who has filed to be running for the spring primary, you can go to wslmradio.com. And the deadline to seek election is to be on the May 3rd ballot is February the 4th. So, and school board seats will be for Salem, Eastern, and West Washington. They will not appear on the ballot until the fall. So there we go. Also, tonight in sports action, Salem girls will be at Scottsburg at 7:30. West Washington girls will be at Crawford County at 7:30, and IU at Iowa at 9. And you had some good information. And please go in and share us about the wrestling. Yes, last night and today.
We will have middle school and high school both have wrestling meets tonight.
Okay.
It's county.
Yay.
It is a county tourney. I think though West Washington High School is quarantined, so they will not be there, and I do not believe the Eastern Middle School will be there.
Mm-hmm.
But so we will have. I think we will have West Washington and Salem Middle School, and then Eastern and Salem High School tonight.
All right.
So
that's hosted at Salem.
that is hosted at Salem.
That's exciting.
We had our club meet yesterday,
Yeah,
last night. So we did, and that's just friendly. So it's not, so it was good. It gives them the experience. We have a lot of first-year wrestlers on our team. So it was a good experience for them. Some of them their first meet.
Oh,
So it was.
is that cute?
It's fun.
Do they?
It's fun. But it can be very intense. Like I get very stressed out sometimes.
So, my dad was a wrestler, wrestled at IU. I guess what I get laughing at when you're little, starting off like that.
Yes.
Like, do you go in like John Wayne Tough? I mean, like, are you like?
It
is
depends.
a warrior,
So
or
you have.
Are you a little more?
It depends on the kid. So like some kids are very aggressive and they will. And like so
Do you
Nick,
get tickled at those?
oh, it cracks me up.
Oh.
And then you have some that like I love the peewees because they don't really know what they're doing,
Right.
which really mirrors myself, which is probably why I love them so
I
much.
can relate to this.
Because I get in trouble all the time for yelling because
Oh.
they're like,
Oh, I
stop, you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, yes, I do. I do know that if you're on your back, you go to your belly so you don't get pinned. Like, I know I'm right.
Yeah.
May not know everything, but I do know some things.
Right.
And
So
then
you go to your belly.
so you don't get pinned.
All right.
So, and then you have some little peewees that they're just so cute and they don't want to hurt each other and,
just right out of the womb.
yeah, like they're,
Come to mommy.
they don't know what to do. And so then when they do get on their back, they're like, oh, okay, I'm pinned. You win.
Okay.
It's like that's
Yeah.
So it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
a really, you have to give huge respect to that sport.
it's hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
Very hard.
The middle school had their first meet Tuesday night against Silver Creek and Parkview, and our middle school won. But, they won the whole thing.
Awesome.
Well, I say that they beat both schools, so I don't really know how but they won. They did well. So that was good. So we were in Silver Creek Tuesday night.
Now, do you have a t-shirt, Wrestling Mom?
I have multiple t-shirts.
I love that.
I actually have one, and I might wear it tonight if it fits. It may not fit anymore, but it is a shameless plug for myself. So on the front, it does say Wrestling Mom, and it says, "This beauty raised her beast."
Oh my gosh, how cute!
And then, yeah,
it's adorable. I'm not seeing. Oh,
I should have worn it today.
Yeah.
And then on the back, it says, "Let me wrestle for your home, your dream home," or something like that, or wrestling to make dreams
that's
come
cute.
true. And then it has my phone number and NMLS on the back. So
Oh,
it is
that's
a shameless plug for me
I love that.
under the
Something
guise
else, yeah.
of supporting my children.
Well, so when they, when you're walking towards someone, they see you're the wrestling mom,
Yeah.
and
then when I walk away,
they see a little bit after.
yeah, I mean, shameless plug. It is what it is, but
Yeah. I had one of the coolest walk away T-shirts. Years ago, I went to see Boston, and that was one of my first concerts. And then it's so cool because I sat there and I fell in love with Boston. And then later on, I got to meet him and hang out with him.
That's
cool. It was really cool. So that was like, you talk about.
You can take me with you when you go.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. But my coolest T-shirt was on the back. It said, "Don't look back," from their album, "Don't Look Back."
Yeah.
And that was my coolest walk away. I always wanted to wear my hair up, make sure my hair did not. I wanted
sure
everybody to see my walk away.
See it.
Walk away was better than the front. To me. Yeah. I was that, and just like with that dramatic walk away, celebrity home loans.
Well, it doesn't have celebrity, which actually I got this shirt when I was with Land's Home.
Oh, okay.
And so now, in hindsight, I'm very thankful I never put a company name. Like, it's just my name, my NMLS, and my phone number.
Drop the mic.
So it's like I can still wear this shirt.
Yeah.
So I actually saw it today. I might wear it tonight.
Oh, you gotta wear that tonight. Definitely.
If
I see a photo and you're not in that shirt, I'm calling.
I know.
I'm calling you or texting you to keep the shirt on.
Come on out and support our kids.
Them. Yeah.
It's fun. It really is
like,
fun.
Okay, so when you come to a wrestling match, like, because I've been to them before, there's just a lot of yelling.
There's a whole lot of yelling.
And so that's.
I'm surprised I have a voice today because, like I said, and then Max did National Saturday. Yeah. So we've had wrestling, like, it's a fun-filled wrestling because then they have a meet Sunday and then they have another meet against Corden on. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And my boys are very flexible. Like,
well, no, you have to be.
Well, they're like scary flexible. Mm-hmm. So like
a pretzel.
Yes, and in a way that works for them because it works for them.
To their day.
But sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, they're going to break my kid's arm out of his socket. And like, I'm all ready for them to come off the mat and be like, oh, my arm.
It's that rotator cuff. Watch that.
And both of my boys are like, what are you talking about? I'm fine.
People talk about like people's knees, you know what I mean, or hips, or, there's all kinds of injuries. But that rotator cuff, watch that thing. That's a beast.
You get some, if they've been in for a little while, and
they get bruises.
They're a little, and they come off the mat, they're all red, and it's fine. It's fine. They're fine, they're tough. But I was wrestling with Max Monday night, a minute and a half, maybe not even that long, maybe it was only 40 minutes. I'm still sore. 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Not minutes, seconds.
Did he have you in?
He did, yeah.
I love that.
And I outweigh him by a good 70 pounds.
But it's
technique.
Technique
over.
Technique. Yeah.
But it is, and it's fun to watch. And some of the things that it is just, and the character that it builds in them. And like I told Nick yesterday, I said, so, you're going to go win? He's like, I don't know. Depends if the kid's better than me or not, but I'm just going to go do my best.
I love that.
And it's like, okay, great. Yeah. Of course, then we're standing there, he goes, okay, it's time to beat some people up.
Oh, there you
or
go.
Some persons. He says, time to beat some persons up.
All right.
But he didn't give up. He didn't win. He lost by points, and that's okay. I think this kid was probably a little bit older, and I think he probably outweighed him a little bit. But Nick's he's a heavyweight. So, like, my 5-year-old's 70 pounds.
Oh.
But he's also over 4 foot tall. So, normally he's head and shoulders over his people. And this kid was taller than him and bigger. So, I was just proud that he didn't get pinned.
Well, there you go.
And he didn't give up.
Positive. Yeah. And then he made it out okay.
Yeah, he did.
As a mom, I'd be like, okay, we survived.
Well, yeah. It does. It gets a little stressful.
Yeah.
And then, you're with these kids and these families all day long. Yeah. So then it's like, I have 2 that wrestle, but really I have 22 that wrestle because,
you get attached to them.
Absolutely. And sometimes those make me more nervous than my own kids. Because
sure, you want them all to do well. And stay.
You do.
For sure. Well, I think that's important.
And they try so hard.
What time does it start tonight?
It starts at 6, maybe. Let me look. Put me on the spot there.
I'm sorry.
Well, I think it starts at 6.
Okay.
It's at the high school. That you can only get your tickets through the event link.
Right.
And I don't like that. 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah.
No, that's Tuesdays. Practice. Wednesday. What is today?
Today is
13.
Thursday the 13th. Yeah.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. All right.
I better mark that I'm attending.
All right.
My bad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You were not on the schedule. You were not on the list.
You were not on the list. You're not getting in.
How horrible.
So.
All right, we're on to the 13th day, and so head on over and go support the Salem Lions, right?
Go support them. I'll be good. It's fun to watch. I love watching. I mean, the middle school, they're fun.
But Autumn, what's fun is because you have Eastern and West Washington involved, and then these are students that'll probably be like with them throughout their career of high school or school. And then you're going to watch them grow, and you're going to know these kids, and they're going to know. That's the fun part. Yeah, you do.
I mean, we knew quite a few of them last night, and I'm interested to see tonight.
Definitely.
And some of them play football, so you see them in different sports.
For sure. Yeah. All right. This is also, today is Healthy Weight, Healthy Look Day. All right. We talk about all your vegetables and fruit.
And your Valentine's candy.
Your Valentine's candy. Yeah, I gotta have some of that. Make Your Dream Come True Day.
Ooh, I like that.
I like that.
You're in charge of your destiny.
I agree. Absolutely. National Peach Melba Day. It's like that. I think it's that. It's almost like a jam, like a Melba. Isn't that right? Something like that. I think that's right.
I'm gonna Google that.
National Rubber Ducky Day. Rubber Ducky, you're the one. You make bath time oh so fun. National Sticker Day. Ooh, this is my favorite. This is it. Every dog has their day. Public Radio Broadcasting Day.
Hey!
That's Autumn right here, coming to you live. This is also Stephen Foster Memorial Day. So there we go. Get out and enjoy all those great holidays.
Peach Melba is a dessert of peaches with raspberry sauce and vanilla ice cream.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Well, had I known that, I would have brought some peach Melba today.
Yeah, and celebrated broadcasting, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
Good times.
All right. So, Autumn, some things that we are into. We are getting into the middle of the month of January. Crazy 2022. Hard to believe that. And we want to remind everybody, well, first of all, do you need to give your number, your code?
I do. I want to give this as we talk about, shift gears. I could spend the whole hour talking about sports. But,
couldn't we all? Yeah.
Celebrity Home Loans, LLC, NMLS 227765, NMLSconsumeraccess.org. We are an equal housing lender. And as we are going into 2022, rates are rising.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you. Where are we at? And tell me what you kind of predict and what you know and what we'll see.
Nobody knows.
Right. But what's going on right now? Where are we at right now?
We are right around that 4%, 3.5% to 4%, depending on credit score and product. We are about 1/4 of a point higher than what we were about 6 months ago, or even 3 or 4 months ago. But they're still not bad rates. Like, I have been wrong. I'm publicly saying this.
We're recording.
I know. And honestly, I blame the pandemic because prior to COVID, I really did think we'd see rates back up to the 6%. That was just I'm like, you know what? They're going to go back up. We're rebounding. But again, as a note, raising rates are what stop inflation, or at least slow inflation down.
Okay, so the rate's going up, and
you buy less.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that stops some of that inflation because people aren't buying. So, but they are going up, but it's still a good time to buy. I mean, your rates are still low.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a lot of people who are not first-time home buyers that are still, that's a good rate. And what we're really running into are a lot of your later millennials, early Gen Zs who are buying for the first time and have never known any different.
Right.
Are like, that seems really high.
Yeah.
Because I remember it was 2%. Well, that wasn't normal.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's the thing that we just have to keep coming back to. That was not normal. That was not typical.
Yeah.
Rates are higher than what you're used to, but they are still low. Like, these are still great rates.
And it seemed like years ago it was like 6 and 7s and like that.
My first mortgage was over 6%.
Yeah.
And I'm young. You know,
you are. No, you are young.
I bought my first house at 18. So, 18 years ago?
Yeah.
And I was at 6%.
Yeah.
But in the 80s and early 90s, you were double digits.
But also, houses, let's go back, houses were cheaper back then, weren't they? I mean, weren't they? The cost of living
The
here,
cost of living.
was
But
a lot less than other places, correct?
yes,
Am I
and we
correct on
still
that?
are.
And our real estate, too,
We
was a
still
lot.
are.
Because I know that there were people that I've talked to that were like in other areas, in
Yes.
other states or, area, that would talk about how our prices in this community were really a good price,
Yes.
a good deal.
They are, and they still are.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have some houses that there was a new one that was just listed, I think, for $250, and it's like there's a part of me that I still look at some of these and I'm like, seriously,
Yeah.
because I do remember 5-10 years ago,
Yeah.
it's like that would have only been like 125,000.
But now,
But
yeah.
things have gone up.
Yeah.
But again, that's kind of what helps counteract it, because okay, maybe 3 years ago when interest rates were 2%, you could have done that $250,000
Right,
home
right,
because your
right.
payment's lower.
Right.
Well, now you're at 4%. Maybe you're only buying 175. So. But our houses are, because that same house that's $250 here is probably $350 down in
Oh,
Albany.
absolutely. Yes.
So
Exactly.
our
And
overall
that's what I always
cost of
try to
living,
remind everyone. Yeah. That
it's lower.
again, this goes back to, remember, it was actually 2 years ago when I picked this up. Look at what we do have instead of what we don't have.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Yes. We
And
do
our
have,
taxes.
yeah.
Our
Yeah.
taxes here are low. Like, they are low. And that helps us.
Yeah.
I mean, because there are other counties that,
I know somebody's yelling at that radio.
I don't know, like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do mortgages all over the state of Indiana and in
Yeah.
Kentucky. Like,
Yeah.
our taxes here are low.
Yeah.
I mean, Kentucky, you
That's
have
nice to
city
know.
taxes and county, both.
Oh, you pay both?
You pay both in
No
the
matter
state of
where you live.
Kentucky. Just
Wow.
in, I don't know
You
about
live in
other
the city, you
states,
pay
but,
county too? Oh, wow.
and then in Illinois taxes are outrageous. Like,
Really?
Illinois taxes are thousands.
I've heard that before.
Yes, they're
Yeah.
crazy. They're crazy high.
Wow.
And it's all public record. So if you don't believe
Yeah.
me, go Google, Google property taxes. And
Give some extra time.
You
on
know.
your hands. Go Google it.
so we are we are still very blessed to,
Yeah, we are, and that's what I always like to show, that that
Yeah.
what we do have and how blessed we are, because I do believe that. I
we do. And we have a great county. We have a great community.
Oh, absolutely.
We have a lot of people. They are now doing more builds, new construction. They're trying to get that track done behind the Y. And I think there's like 2 or 3 different builders doing that.
Yeah,
Because I've
I
seen,
agree on that. Yeah.
and then we have the houses that are being built on Highland Drive. So, we do have new construction going up for sale.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Which is good, and
but the demand is still high,
Right.
and the supply is still low. So that in and of itself is going to drive up price.
that is true.
And that's just
It's a lot of really good information.
economics 101.
Well, but it is a different, it's a different, different, I guess, creature, or,
Yeah.
if you're not into that, and don't know.
It is different. And that's something I was talking to somebody yesterday. They came into the office and they were talking, and, because rent prices are also up. And that's the other thing, if you're not living with family and you're not owning, you're probably renting. And rent prices are up, and they had gotten an estimate on a rental, and it was like $800 a month. And they're like, that's just a lot for rent, and I can buy cheaper. And I'm like, well, because then I was going, I'm like, well, at 120 where you're at right now, at 120,000, estimating taxes and insurance, yeah, you're about $800.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And and yes, that is about the same as rent, but you own it. And I tell people all the time, this is kind of one of my things. You're paying a mortgage, whether it's yours or somebody else's.
Right.
If you rent, you are paying a mortgage.
Mhm.
And you're probably paying more because they're not going to rent it if they're not making a profit.
Right.
And your property taxes are higher because you don't have that homestead exemption. So
Yeah.
you're still, if you're renting, you're still paying. That's, you're going to pay for it one way or another unless you live with family.
Right.
And then if that's the case, then I hope you're saving.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to live with family forever And so,
failure to launch.
hopefully you are saving. And this is a huge tip, and I believe this. And all people, if you are not paying rent and you're not owning a home, and you're working and you're wanting to get out in the next year or two, you need to be setting aside $600 to $800 a month in a savings account.
Yeah.
For two reasons. If you can save $600 to $800 a month, then you can probably pay rent or a mortgage.
Okay, that's A.
That's A. You've got to get used to that, or you're going to have a huge payment shock when you go to all of a sudden, oh, now I have to pay this.
Right.
Two, if you're saving that, you're building a savings. And so then you either have a cushion in case, God forbid, something goes wrong, or if you need a down payment, then you have it because you've been saving it. Because if you think about it, $600 for 12 months is a lot of math. $7,200. Is that right?
You said you weren't good at math.
I haven't had enough coffee today to be good at math.
But what we're talking about here is
$7,200. That's a big down payment.
Yeah. This is not unique. Okay, let's go to another state. We talked about maybe higher interest rates, maybe higher taxes, whatever. But everybody has gone through this pandemic. Everybody has gone through this hit. Everybody has. This is global.
Yes.
This is not just, we're not unique on this.
Yes.
And so it's actually done a lot of I guess changes on everything. Correct. I mean, I know people are getting tired of this, like the COVID effect. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Oh, COVID caused this, COVID caused that, COVID. But it did change a lot. You know what I mean? And so if you don't want us to say it, we'll just call it it. It did change a lot. And everywhere.
Changed. Well, I think it has changed a lot as well. If you talk to the majority of loan officers, and I'm on a couple different loan officer platforms, and COVID actually improved our business.
Oh, wow. See, and I don't think I think most people would be shocked to hear that.
The real estate market did not slow down.
See,
COVID did not stop people from
shocking.
going and looking at homes. COVID did not stop people from buying homes. COVID did not stop people from refinancing homes. And part of that was, yes, rates were low. So you have the people who bought homes 10, 15 years ago in the 5-6% that now we're refinancing down because, hey, let's take advantage of your rates. Which, by the way, if you're still in a 5 or 6%, call me because there's no reason you should be paying that much.
Right.
But two, your home values are up. So you have some equity. So maybe you bought your home 10 years ago and you have mortgage insurance and now the values are up. So let's refinance you, lower your rate, drop your mortgage insurance off completely and save you money. So refinances have been very good, but you also do still have people buying. They're home, so they want to do repairs. So let's do a cash out refinance so we can do some repairs to our home. The real estate mortgage market has not slowed down. And I mean, even realtors, I've talked to realtors, they're like, I've had the best year I've ever had. Oh, wow. And realtors don't do refinances.
Right.
I mean, it's just, it has not slowed down our market. It has slowed down others, though, I know.
Yeah.
I mean, part of that is you have, I don't think we have the stimuluses anymore, but you have the stimulus, you have people who were making extra money on unemployment, and really, in all honesty, I know people, and I've heard people say, well, I'm just waiting for all those houses to go into foreclosures.
No, I hope not.
I've heard people say, well, not to be negative, but just to be, then I can get a home maybe. And they're thinking this 2008 market crash that we had. And I don't see that happening. But you do have people who put their mortgage in deferment. But really, if you were smart with it, between the unemployment and the stimulus, there's no reason your house payment shouldn't have been paid.
Right. Yeah. And everybody's story is different.
There are circumstances, and there are situations.
And we know that. Yeah.
But with those, a lot of people.
Well, I just pray that everybody made it through. You know what I'm saying, and keeps making it through because we want them to.
I don't
prosper. Just like Spock, live long and prosper.
Yes. Well, our county and our community is only as prosperous as our people in it. And so why would you not want to have
Absolutely.
thriving businesses and people who are, and I've always felt that way. Like, that's something I'm very big in. I want you to thrive.
Absolutely.
I want you to do well. I don't want you to struggle.
Yeah.
Because then we all struggle. We all.
Yeah.
I want the appraisers and the home inspectors, and actually that's what I was going to talk about today was inspections.
Well, I would love to talk
You
about
know,
that.
like, that's the thing. All of these people that make up this loan process, you want them to thrive. You want our community to thrive. You want the restaurants and the businesses and the florists and all of them to thrive. And that just makes us stronger people. The pizza places. We have like 10 banks and pizza. Sometimes
Papa John's is
see, we're Domino's people. I love that thin crust Domino's. I do. And they have a nice gluten free.
Yeah, well, they my family, we're Papa John's.
I'm not a huge pizza person.
Oh, well, we are. We could have it almost every meal. So, yeah, we're
and Kinley doesn't love pizza, so we're both kind of weird. We're like, but I love that Domino's. I can do pasta or other things as well.
Well, they have in Papa John's has wings.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Beef wings are.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Sticks, cheese sticks. I can pretty well tell you. Their brownie is just like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I can tell you their menu.
But so
okay, going back to this.
To inspections. I was going to talk about inspections.
I love that. Love that.
Because really, we are in a county that has a lot of septics, a lot of wells.
Yeah, and a lot of times people don't realize that.
They don't. No. Actually, did you know that I'm on septic? You told me that.
Yeah, and you had no clue.
No, I didn't. When we bought our house, we were told it was on city sewer. I'm in town. I expected it to be on city sewer because I'm in town.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Fun fact.
I'm on septic.
That was a little surprise.
Thank God my basement was not finished.
Yeah.
So when we had that mess, it was not as messy as it could have been. But the only thing I require typically as a lender is an appraisal to make sure the home is worth what you are buying it. Now, that being said, there are a couple different caveats to that. If you purchase a manufactured home, which we have a lot of manufactured homes in this county, I do a lot of them.
Which are beautiful.
Oh yeah, and they're great. And if you maintain them, they maintain their value. Mm-hmm. Like, they're great. Mm-hmm. But you have to have a foundation inspection to make sure that it is done correctly. So,
which is good.
Yes. Yeah.
It's good for the buyer.
And I will always do that first. I always tell my buyers, let's do your foundation inspection first because it's $350. Your appraisal is about $550. And if you have foundation issues, I don't want you out the $550.
Right.
But even with our USDA loans, with our no down payment loans, and I know we've kind of touched on this before, no down payment does not mean no out-of-pocket expenses. Okay, you don't have a down payment, you're borrowing 100% of your loan amount, but you still have an appraisal you got to pay for. You still have, USDA does not allow manufactured homes, but you still have, if you have manufactured home, that foundation inspection. If you go VA, you have to have a termite inspection. VA requires a termite.
That's not a bad thing, though.
No, it's not. And technically,
I know that, I know financially, but isn't that nice to have that,
yeah, you want that protection.
Yeah.
But technically in VA, and this is where, thankfully we talk to a lot of our realtors around here and they know, the buyer cannot pay for that termite. The seller is supposed to pay for that termite inspection because VA says buyer can't pay for it unless it's a refinance, and then, they have no choice.
Right.
But, so termite inspection, then you can have, if you have a home inspection, I encourage them. I have a lot of people that ask me about home inspections. I don't require them. I encourage them. But those can be anywhere from $400 to $600, maybe even more depending on square footage because it's based on square footage.
Right.
And I always tell people, the difference is a home inspector will go and try to find things wrong with your property. That is their job.
Yeah.
They're climbing on the roof. They're climbing under the house. They're doing the deal. Mm-hmm. An appraiser will mention it if he sees it. He's not climbing on your roof. He's not taking his drone to your roof. He's not climbing under your house. Right. He does a head and shoulders, and that is it. And if he spots something, great, he'll mention it. But he's not climbing around. Now, if you are on a well, you have to have a well test, a water test.
Oh.
I don't do those. Don't bring those to me. Like, we do have a company in Clarksville. I don't own it, but there is a company in Clarksville. It's called Asbury Water. They're usually within 24 hours. It's $27. But if you are on a well, you have to have a well test. I have to make sure you don't have E. coli.
I think that's
Important. Yes.
Yeah.
And then if you are on septic and the home is vacant, so if you are buying a home that has not been lived in or like a foreclosure or something like that, then you do have to have a septic test to make sure that it is functioning properly.
Oh.
So there are a lot of inspections that, I just rattled off, I think like 7. There are a lot of inspections that they're not actually part of your loan amount. They're not part of what you are borrowing from me.
Right.
So if you do a vacant manufactured home on a septic and a well, and you're going BA, guess what? You're getting every single one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a well test, a septic test, an engineer inspection, a termite report, and an appraisal.
But I see it as a great thing because I see it that you're out of pocket, and you know how I like to save money.
Yes.
Not a big spender. Don't like to spend.
But then you have no surprises.
That's what I mean. Yes.
But you can be looking at up to $2,000 for those things. And so that is something I always like to talk to people about, is that you do have expenses.
And I mean this, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you said that you were surprised on having your septic.
Yes.
Did you not have an inspection?
No, I did not.
Okay.
Because it was a foreclosure.
Oh, okay.
So when I bought my house, I knew it was a foreclosure. We knew, I say that like I bought it alone, but Justin is very handy. But we knew that even if there were issues, we were going to be stuck with him anyway.
Okay.
So that is why we didn't.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot.
No, that's fine. But that's why we didn't, because I knew regardless, even if there were issues, it didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
And for what we bought the house, because it was foreclosure, we got a really good deal. But had I had a home inspection, I'm not sure if they would have picked up septic.
Okay.
Because it was recorded as being on city water in the listing, and they only have what they have to go by.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't know that would be picked up. However, when I called the water company, they knew. They're like, "You don't have sewer. You're on septic." I'm like, "Well, I wish you would have told me that."
Yeah.
But so that's another thing. It's always good to kind of check with your utility companies because they do know.
Yeah. Well, and it's also good to check with your electric company and your utilities and find out what the average is for that house or the average.
And you can do that. You can request the last 12-month bills.
Yeah, and that kind of tells you where you're going to be.
Yeah, and that's important because the lady I was talking to yesterday, she's like, "Well, by the time we have utilities and everything, I'm looking at $1,000." And I was like, "Well, depending on what your utilities are, yeah.
These are things like so. I think it's nice for homeowners to have no surprises.
Well,
I'm not saying that you won't, because I think there's always going to be some surprises. But I think if you can keep those low and keep them minimum,
if you know what you're getting into, and I always tell people this, if I did my job, then when we get to closing, you should have no questions.
Yeah.
Now, if you do ask, I will never say, "Oh, don't ask."
Yeah.
But if I did my job and I explained things to you throughout the process, then when we get to closing, you should know exactly what you're getting into.
Right. So now, do you find yourself from personal experience that you always say, make sure you find out?
I always say, I encourage it. I strongly encourage it. I do not require it. And I do. I have shared that story a couple times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People.
I think that's, to me, I always like to learn from others. If somebody can share some wisdom and some information, and
make sure you know if you're on septic.
Yeah, even if you don't want to pay for that inspection or whatever, but at least call the water department. You can do that. That didn't cost anything to call the water department and ask them.
Yeah.
So these are things you can do your homework.
It's a thing of hindsight that had I read my bill and actually read the details of my bill, I probably would have seen that I didn't have a sewer bill. But I don't. I don't do that. bad for me. Horrible example, but I just pay the bill.
Horrible.
I mean, I just pay the bill. Like, here you go. Read the details of your bills.
There we go.
Do it. Read your bill details. If you take anything else away today,
Attention to detail.
pay attention to your details.
Yeah. And
I would have caught that a long time ago.
Well, and I think that, in everything you do, medical, pay attention to the detail,
Yes.
right? You know what I mean? In relationships, pay attention to the detail.
And on the hindsight of that, so what the house I bought used to be, I guess, like the person who owned it before used to rent out the bottom of it, so it was a duplex. So I was actually paying double trash pickup.
Yeah.
Because they still had it as a duplex.
Yeah.
And I missed it. So when I started paying attention to the bill, I was also like, hey, why am I paying for trash twice? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, pay attention to your bills. Read your bills. They itemize them for a reason.
Yeah.
It's important.
That's good lesson. Good life lesson right there. In everything you do.
Yeah.
In everything.
Know what you're paying for. Please know what you're paying for. Know where your money goes. I've preached that and preached that.
Oh, I know.
Know where your money goes.
Yeah. So good time to evaluate and just kind of see.
Yeah.
And I'd say a lot of groceries, food.
And my kid, I have to go pick up lunch for my kid.
Yeah.
He's like, please,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah.
You have nothing in the house. I need to go. I love the grocery pickup. Let me just tell you.
Isn't it wonderful?
That's
I
fabulous.
know a lot of people. It's just fantastic. Yeah.
But I don't always remember, and so then when I need something, it's like, oh, you have to do it so far in advance.
Well, the wonderful thing about this, Autumn, I can see. Let me just kind of do a scenario of you. Okay. So you pull out your phone. Okay. This is during a break, a wrestling break. Okay. This is is there like a break?
Well, it depends. We have a lot of kids, so
we need
somebody's
somebody-
always on a mat.
Okay. Well, let's say that this is just somebody that you just don't really know. Okay, or something. Okay.
Kids you don't care
Everybody's. I don't want to say it that way. Well, or let's say there's somebody we have to go to the restroom at some point. Okay?
Yeah, there you go.
So you're on your phone and you go to the Walmart app. You can start putting stuff in your grocery. Like,
Yes.
okay, remember years ago, like whenever you have that note on the refrigerator, maybe you're too young, but you have a note on the refrigerator and you write down what you need.
Yeah,
like,
what you run out of?
Yes, like I need
Yeah.
laundry detergent. I need, dishwashing.
Yeah.
So then, but you can go ahead and do this
And put it in your
in their
cart.
cart.
Yes.
And this is I just cannot figure out why people wouldn't do this. Okay, so you have it already, your grocery list, what you need right there.
Yeah.
So then all you have to do is push go, send it, and then pick it up.
But see,
Add
then you
more
have
to
to
it.
remember. You have to remember to put it in when you run out.
Yeah.
Like I was out
Yeah.
of rubbing alcohol for 2 or 3 months.
Well, you can go back and look at the history of things you bought. So if you forget something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, usually I get this and I need to get that more.
Yeah, and when you check out, it does pop up.
Yeah.
It pops up like, oh, you've not ordered this in a
Well,
while.
because
And it's like, stop tracking me.
but it's taking care of you. You know what
It's
I
a
mean?
nice way to put it.
Yes, it's taking care of. I need to be.
It's like, you haven't ordered many corn dogs in a while. I know. My kid reminds me.
I know. So anyway,
That's
I
good.
mean, it's a nice little reminder.
It
you know?
is.
And that's and a lot of times, that's something that we get into. We order the same stuff. You know what I mean? We get the same stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. And I have noticed, and I do want to put a bookmark real quick on that, because have you not noticed, and even in commercials, that Brussels sprouts have come back? I mean, you talk about a strong comeback. And
No, I haven't. I don't watch TV. But I will take your word for that. I'm
They-
a fan of Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts are coming back. I'm
Good.
talking strong,
Good.
stronger than ever. I would say they're giving green beans a run for their money.
They're the vegetable of 2022.
I think so.
Add a little bit of cranberry, a little bit of bacon,
and
lemon. What
butter,
that with some
butter.
lemon and some butter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I do garlic and olive oil and just roast
Oh, I
it.
do.
Rick and Bubba's in Ohio.
Rick and Bubba, is this the real life? Or is this just radio? Caught up in the landslide they call the Rick and Bubba Show. Open your ears, conquer all your fears and see. They're just two big boys, always on my radio. Make sure you're to laugh. Anywhere the ratings go doesn't really matter to me. To me.
7 minutes past the hour from the broadcast plaza and teleport. We thank you for being with us. And we'll get some more of your phone calls today at 866-LEVE-BIG. Willow meeting spun yesterday, so it's out of play. Rick and Bubba University, the podcast, returns this weekend. Sid Bream will be our guest. We'll have our conversation with him. Enjoy that wherever you get podcasts this weekend. The gang's all here. Speedy, the real Greg Burgess, Helmsy, and Eddie Van Adler. And join me in welcoming back Bill Bubba Bussey.
Rick, glad to be here. What a privilege it is to be with you each and every day here in old seat number 2.
There he sits. So we mentioned Biden going into last hour. We actually have the audio and the video. Now, what's being attempted here, remember, don't ever forget, because if you lose sight of what we're actually talking about, we've got one political party that somehow is trying to sell everybody, and then they'll just throw something out that this is their narrative. They will not have to support it, and then they start doubling down on it, meaning people having to show who they are when they vote and prove they really are who they claim to be is racist. So we say it's racist, and now there's no questioning that, there's no discussing that. And so once they establish that, then they start using their narrative as if it's already been proven, and then they come up with examples of, well, you know, if you want to be a racist, I guess you stand for this. And so no one has been able to correctly show me, and we use the term walk it out, to explain to me how us being asked for identification when we vote, like we are asked for identification, and we've run that list with you, all these different places. It seems like that was probably set up to keep people from voting when they weren't who they claimed to be. And, you know, we've already found out many times that the dead people have voted. So, you know, it's not like we don't know these things aren't tried. And it seems pretty easy and simple to get identification.
Yeah.
But anyway, so now what Biden says, like you said, Bubba, you have to, our founding fathers and those that went after them as we continue to make some changes and adjust, said if you want to try to steal an election, you've got to steal 50 elections.
Yeah, it's very difficult.
Yeah, but now what Biden says would be easier to steal one if the federal government just ran all of them. So when he says if you don't think the federal government should run elections, well, you're racist. And and here he goes.
At consequential moments in history, they present a choice. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis? This is the moment to decide, to defend our elections, to defend our democracy.
I don't. Again, first of all, political parties, he needs to work on those a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know that exact example, but
now remember, according to this, going back through history, and if anything has ever happened in history, you're judged by that today, no matter any changes you may have made. I noticed they do not see their own party that way.
no,
Because some of the biggest racists our country has ever known have been Democrats, and he mentioned a couple here.
this all sounds good. We all want everyone who is eligible and legally in the situation to vote. We want every vote to be counted, but we don't want illegal votes, and we don't want people stealing elections. I think we all can agree on that. I'm not sure based on some of the comments, but remember, Rick, we were set up initially as when the Revolutionary War was over, freedom was granted to 13 independent countries. Even though we call them states, they were countries. They were their own thing. And they came together as the United States of America under the Constitution. And the federal government had some things they did, and things that were not clearly laid out was left to the states. Well, even in this process, initially, voting was left to the states. The states would decide how they do this, and then they would bring it forward, and it would be counted on the national election, like with the presidential election and other things. So, but this is a giant power grab under the guise of being fair and doing away with Jim Crow laws. Now, it's really a characterization that's not true, and each independent state has to be responsible for their own elections. If you federalize this, you have just opened the door to numerous problems that they're not even thinking about, including what are they going to do? What will they say when their party's not in control of Congress? They will claim this is a power grab. Remember, because they've done that in the past.
Yeah.
We have most of these people who are out campaigning for this saying the right opposite a few years ago.
Well, and that leads to the next video. All right, so we've Biden says if you don't want to federalize elections, then you are racist, okay, and you're on the wrong side of history. Now, they have not been able to say that these, like Georgia, for instance, Georgia's voting requirements, now they'll ignore the northern states that have the same type of requirements or even worse. It is a Jim Crow law, and here's Jim Crow, what Jim Crow was doing, and here's what they're doing. See there? See how that's the same? So they haven't done that. They just declare it's the same.
Yeah, that's what I'm break down
you just say
racial element.
You just say it's the same, and then you start making speeches like this because you said, well, we already established it's racist.
Yeah.
And so now I'm asking you, want to be a racist or not? Which is, like some ambulance chasing lawyer, in the courtroom trying to play games with everybody. Well, you mentioned, Bubba, that at one time, we played that 2005. Joe Biden told us that when the Republicans were attempting to change the filibuster rule, that was nothing but a power grab.
Yeah.
Well, now Biden wants to get rid of the filibuster, and Kamala Harris wants to let us all know